Greetings and salutations to all you folks out there. So it's time for another live cast. I did this last week and it was quite a good time. We had about 50 people on here. Hopefully we can get up to that again today. We're going to start off with a cast, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the biggest troll games that I have ever seen. I'm going to just dive right into it in just a second here as soon as it loads up. Some crazy stuff happened in it. And of course, as soon as I start the live cast, something would go wrong. My download disappeared. Grab it again real quick, and I will get it online. You guys should check out the FAF bot features. There is a link in the forum, or a thread in the forum rather. There are some really cool things that the FAF bot does now. One of them is if you put a replay ID in the main chat, it automatically sends you a download link for that replay. And it is an extremely handy little tool. Bearpaw, please don't riot. Riots are not a good time. This map is going to be on Twin Rivers. And we've got two very equally ranked players. We've got Jean-Loup and Party Time, both of them going Cybern. Jean-Loup is in the south and then Party on the north. We got Land Factory down first for both of them. And this is one of those maps that gets incredibly spammy, and I love it. Some of the best games I've seen are on Twin Rivers. This one may not be absolutely the best I've seen, but it is definitely one of the funnier ones that I've had sent to me in the last little bit. I'm going to bump up the speed on this one because it is a slightly lengthy game, but we'll knock it out as quick as we can here. Jean-Loup going for a heavy land build. A no air build on this map is extremely risky. I would not recommend it, but there are some people that pull it off. Looks like we got 2 land going up and no air factories in sight, at least for the little bit, and a little bit of power spam here. Twin Rivers does have reclaim, but it's a little harder to get to. You've got strings of rocks down both sides here, and around any of the larger boulders sticking up out of the ground, there's groups of reclaim. If you do use manual reclaim, you can get quite a bit of mass to start out the game with, but it's just a little bit harder to get to. Early aggression is key, and both of these players are kicking it off. We've got Hunters, actually Mantis, never mind. Accompanied by Scouts, got a couple from both players expanding to the back here for Party Time early. He is going for air third. He's got his 7 power generators online, which is typically what you need to pull off an air factory. And Jean-Loup is plowing ahead with his land factories. He's not going to stop or slow down for air. That's going to give Party Time a little bit of an advantage if he pulls a bomber out first, which he is not. Going for the interceptor, anticipating a bomber from the other player. There goes that Mantis. Going to snipe off this engineer. And, oh, that is ACU queued up for that one. But he is going to run to the back there. He may slip past and actually get to that engineer. I think there was one that went around the south side, but where did it go? Where did it go? There it is right there. It was unlucky enough to run into the ACU. So we got Mantis on the northern side here. Going to try to chase down this engineer, and then another Mantis to the side for Jean-Loup. Doing a very good job with his early raiding. A little meet up here. 4 Mantis on 4 Mantis. A little bit of an advantage to Party Time though. And it goes away again. Just barely knocking out that Mantis. Actually a vet on that one. Trying to clean up some reclaim in the center here. Jean-Loup hasn't even touched his. Party Time is on 1600 so far, and only 700 for Jean-Loup. He's going to pop off another Mantis on this expansion. It is wise to push your ACU across, because this over here is extremely vulnerable. The last time that I played on Twin Rivers in a 1 versus 1 situation, I got wiped out because I didn't push my commander to this side, and I just got raided over and over again on the left hand. This is going to be a successful drop for Party Time. I don't see anything that can deny it. So he's going to snag this extra eco. 4 mass extractors on each side. Those islands are actually a pretty big deal. That is another disadvantage of not going air. But we finally have an air factory online. Jean-Loup is going to throw it down there. And a attempted run by over here. But Party Time's going to knock that out. Again, face planting into the ACU. I got to warn you guys, there are quite a few little fails in this game. We're going to see more of them as it goes on. We got land factories going down. Engineers spreading out to grab those mass extractors. And the transport is returning to base. He can actually drop the southern island as well if he's quick about it. He's got air scouts headed down. And still no transport over here. Got a bomber coming up. I'm amazed that Party Time didn't build a bomber. I'm goody tied. Let's see, we've got fairly decent eco balance. Maybe a little low on power for Jean-Lu. And then power stalled, but only slightly for Party Time. One thing to remember about Cybern, you actually have to have a little bit more power to play as Cybern. The Mantis costs more power than the other faction's main tanks. It's not a significant amount, but if you're talking about quantities of Mantis this size, where you've got 6 land factories building Mantis at once, you're going to have to build a couple extra power generators as opposed to the other factions. Just something to kind of keep in mind. Got a huge amount of spam coming in from Jean-Lu. Party Time is not quite as production intensive at this exact second, but he is catching up quickly, and this early expansion is really going to help him out. You can see his mass per tick is already 6. No, Jean-Lu is ahead. How on earth did that happen? I am misreading my scoreboard. Very interesting. He's already got a T2 mass extractor online. 2 of them. That is where that extra eco is coming from. Party Time does not have any. So a little bit of eco at the beginning for Jean-Lu. And I have an engagement right here. Jean-Lu has more Mantis, but his are spread out. This is what you don't want to have happen when you're microing a battle. If your units are spread out and theirs are clumped up, there's going to be more damage brought to bear on a single section from the other player, and they're going to easily overwhelm your units. And then he's going to loop around, come into the combined forces of both of these groups, and get obliterated. But he was able to slip by, unfortunately not quickly enough. Medusas are going to get quickly shot down by those Mantis. And Party Time is victorious, and he has a glorious mass field for his troubles. That is going to be a whole lot of reclaim at his disposal that he can turn back around into more units to serve his cause. I don't know whose cause you're really serving if it's Cybern versus Cybern. Nobody's trying to escape, nobody's trying to win their freedom, and where is that headed? Not entirely sure, but there's a couple of rhinos on the case. That means we've got T2 right down here building the TAC defense, which is honestly kind of useless if the other player goes heavy TAC missiles because of the splitting TAC launchers. We got T2 on the northern side as well, so still an even game. Party Time has finally pulled ahead in mass production. He's got 73 income, blipping around to 66 for Jean-Lu, it looks like. And he's just going to have enough units to stave that off. ACU on the front. When you're still in the T2 or T1 phase rather, and the early T2 phase, your ACU is a vital tool on the front lines because that overcharge can easily deal with a couple of T2 units that are spread through your opponent's ranks, and then your ACU is worth about 20 tanks just in sheer health and damage, as long as you don't get caught up in the middle of them. So if you have 2 roughly even groups, the player that has his ACU at the front is definitely going to win it. And you can see that here. Adding to his pile of mass, he's going to throw down a land factory in the middle of it all to help him reclaim it. This is going to give him huge reclaim numbers. Jean-Lu pulling... he's about even in mass income at the moment, depending on the reclaim. He's only reclaimed 5k. Party Time is pushing upwards towards 6k, and I think that's going to increase very quickly with this right here. Party Time's going to have to fall back, though. He's got these tanks bearing down on him. He does have forces of his own, though. He's going to draw those to his ACU and easily wipe that out. Rhinos you have to be careful of. UEF pillars are not individually strong. It takes a fairly good number of them to pose a danger. And then obsidians are slow, and the Ilshivas, of course, everyone is afraid of those, but a lot of people underestimate the rhino. The Rhino actually packs a lot of DPS per unit. They're more expensive than the Pillar is. So a handful of Rhinos can actually kill your ACU pretty quickly if you have your power go down and you cannot overcharge them. At the moment, we've got horrendous mass stall for Jean-Lu. Just tipped over 6k reclaim. 8,700 reclaim for party time and doing very well on his eco. You can see how quickly that's pulling ahead. He pulled about 3,000 mass ahead in reclaim in just a second. But we got Rhinos on the southern side. Those are going to try to kill off this expansion down here. It's an awful lot of units for 2 Rhinos to deal with, but they may or may not be able to get it. Nope, going to run in 9 kills on that Rhino. He's going to get shot down. We've also got 18. Holy crap. 18 kills on that Rhino. And he's just going to camp out there by the land factory. I'll laugh hysterically if that single Rhino is able to take that entire expansion. Looks like he's dropping the northern side too. Party time is still ahead on mass income. He's about 14 per tick higher, but he's got both side expansions. If Jean-Lu is able to take these out, that's going to really help his game a lot. Vipers ahoy! You knew those were coming eventually. Alright, let's see how these fare. These down here were a hero. Still killing 23 kills on that Rhino. And these up here, we got 8 and 11 so far. That is what happens when you've got all of your units strung out on a patrol order. They end up running into the Rhinos one by one, and it does not do well. Rhino drop from party time is going to take care of those, and then more Rhinos up here. For those of you who are wondering, I don't quite have enough upload for full 1080p. That is why when I play on Twitch, I get a lot of pixelation when I'm zooming. On YouTube, I can set the settings like exactly at the threshold for what my connection can handle and get the best resolution I can without it starting to gum up. I could probably bump it just a teeny bit higher, but I plan on playing a game in a few minutes, so I'm not going to. The next time I do this, I may end up bumping it up. Cerberus turret stringing along the front here. These Rhinos, 21 and 23 kills, and just about wiped out the whole expansion. These 4 Rhinos up here will be able to take care of it, though. Going to drop engineers, but it's too little, too late. Party time's not going to be able to push in. We've got T3 on the field for Jean-Lu, and it looks like T3 as well for party time. So still running neck and neck on this. Trying to run around, but it's kind of hard to do a run around when you have a cliff in your way. Kind of an insurmountable difficulty there. I'm amazed how little air has been used this game. It's basically been air in order to drop off land units, is the entire sum of it. Oh, I missed. I didn't see how many kills it had. It had 23, and it killed several more on its trek across, so I'm going to assume it probably finished between 25 and 30. It is a beastly Rhino. That's all that matters. Control Kang all of the T1 there. If you're wondering what that poof was. I was going to reclaim that mass and use it to build something else. Probably more T3. Looks like he's bringing some more support factories online. He's got one running now and another one upgrading. Very heavy assisting going on there. Party time is up to 20k reclaim, and he's got about 6 bricks on the field, plus a whole bunch of T2. Jean-Lu is pushing 5 bricks, 2 of them way back in his base. There's a tack launcher. Did that get off any successful tacks? I don't think it did. It may have, but the TMD got it. And that's going to go down. Bricks pulling back. We got the large push on the side. Party time very slow to react on this one. He's not pushing over like he should, and all of these Mantis are going to be able to get behind here. Might lose a couple T2 mass extractors over that one, but he does have the eco to spare. He's got 131 mass income to Jean-Lu's 104. And he's throwing down a T3 power. What on earth is that? I have no idea. Large wall configuration, not sure why. There's one single point defense there. If anybody knows what that is, let me know. I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to be. Unless it's just supposed to look scary. Man, that large explosion. The demolishers, or no, those are trebuchets. My bad. Aren't they? Where is he? Trebuchets, yes. Trebuchets are amazing. The AoE on those things is so huge. We got T2 transports out. There it is, down there. There's a brick. Knew there was going to be drops at some point. Gonna absolutely demolish that expansion in the back. T2 mass extractors are going to go down. Corsairs winging around trying to knock that thing out as fast as possible, but it's just not going to happen. Going to lose all those T2 mass extractors. Jean-Loup is going to go down to 91 mass income, slipping a little further. Party Time has lost some of his own, though. We got these T2 mass extractors over here that are down. Although the reclaim is in the hands of Party Time. Once again, Party Time on 30k reclaim. Jean-Loup only on 12,000, not 12 mass. That would be absolutely pitiful reclaim. I think you could accidentally reclaim more than 12 mass per game. Monkey Lord! We are going to see a T4. Jean-Loup is standing in the security of his 3 shields right next to his power generator. Kind of negates the whole shields thing. With a whole bunch of Cerberus turrets. Monkey is going up relatively quickly, actually. Let me see what his mass income looks like. Stalled out at 92, but he's pulling 134 with his reclaim. So that is not too terribly bad. We'll get that online soon enough. Trebuchet standing at a distance here, killing off these engineers. Got an answering Trebuchet from Jean-Loup, but Party Time is going to push up and meet this group that's going northwards. And there are not any bricks in that group, so they're going to have to fall back. We've got 4 bricks here. Plus a whole bunch of Corsairs, but there are, sniping the T3 mobile anti-air. But there's still some flak, which is easily going to be able to deal with those Corsairs. Trebuchets dealing damage to this whole group. Trebuchets are not very powerful. They don't have high damage. I think, if I'm not totally mistaken, they are the lowest damage of any of the T3 mobile artilleries, but the area of effect is just so huge, they're hitting so many units at once, that the blanket damage they deal makes them awesome versus tight-packed armies. Trebuchet beating down on a group like this is going to very quickly whittle down the group. No problemo. Jean-Loup's about 50% on that Monkey Lord. Still pushing out bricks and trebuchets as well. We're about to get down, I think, to the final battle here. Somebody's going to push and somebody is going to lose. Although Party Time is looking pretty good at the moment. He just has so many bricks. Control King has extra factories. 25 bricks on the field. Going to reclaim his other factories and probably get another support online, possibly. Nope, looks like he's still just assisting. Mass had to go somewhere. And I misclicked. There we go. Back up to 3. I have not done a speed run in a long time. It's kind of mentally fatiguing to try to keep track of the battlefield going at this pace. Some of these units are going to try to push through. We do have a group there, so 7 bricks, but that's going to meet up with these about 20 right here packed into the base. Another thing, if you fight from in your base like this, your factories and accessory buildings and everything else is going to soak up some of the damage, so it makes your forces win that much harder. And then all of these T1 and T2 units over here are going to collide with these bricks, and that is going to be the end of Jean-Loup's army. He's very nearly done with his spider, but I don't think it's going to work for him. That spider... Jean-Loup was already behind on eco. He would have been better off being extremely aggressive with these. He had all those Corsairs. He could have gone after them. T3 Air Factory. There's an ASF. Still building ASF. Not going to go for strat bombers. If he could have knocked out these expansions at some point, it would have gone much, much better for him. And that is why you cannot get away with no air on Twin Rivers. It is a bad formula to work with. Scouts coming across to see what he's got. That Monkey Lord is going to be scouted. And the bricks have begun moving southward up here. Looks like Party Time is going to try to wipe out this left side. He has got enough bricks to wipe out that Monkey Lord. I keep saying wipe out. That is going to be my sponsored phrase of the cast. Monkey Lord just sitting idle. Need to send him, buddy. There he goes. Looking like Twinkle Toes with the higher speed. You gonna send it? Nope, he is sending it northward. So the bricks are gonna come down the left side, and the Monkey Lord is gonna go up the right side. Could this be a 35-minute base swap? We've got another drop up here. Looks like that is going to be a brick. And another brick. Kind of a waste since there was nothing back here. If he could have dropped these sides, it would have done a bit better, I think. Party Time is pretty much in complete and total air control. Jean-Lu knows that he is out of luck on this one. I don't think there's anything that he has that can stop this many bricks. He's going to make a break for the water. Monkey Lord heading up north. Where is Red's commander? Right here. He has started building a Monkey Lord of his own. 5 of them, actually. He was going for the monkey spam. But it is too little too late, I think. Monkey Lord gonna grab some easy kills over there. I'm gonna bump the speed down here so I don't get this horrendous frame rate loss. Monkey Lord gonna start trampling the base, followed by that group of bricks in the back there. Just plowing a rut right through the base, killing the Omni. Gotta get some of that power too. And finds the other Monkey Lord. Bricks on the southern side. Blue's got nothing left. He's down to 43 mass income, 1k power. Didn't even have RAS on his ACU. Losing his entire base. Got the bricks trickling up here. Succeeded in killing off the T3 power. He's going to zap that before the Strat Bomber comes out. So no air, no combat air rather. That Monkey Lord is going to live a good, long, full life. And Red is thinking about dropping over here. I don't know how wise that decision would be. He can win it if he just stays on his island. Monkey Lord ripping up the top end. And these bricks doing pretty well for themselves, actually. Pulling 3 kills apiece. That one with 5. P2 power going down. Just about killed that brick. Seven kills. Monkey Lord kind of being useless in the back. Completely honest. Air sees this. They know the ACU's got to be around here somewhere. There's a scout overhead. He's probably seen it. But no air factory. No ability to build torp bombers. And he's actually down to 780 power. Jean-Lu officially has nothing. He's on 1 mass income, 20 power per tick. And he's doing roughly the same. The Party Time's base. These 4 bricks up here are still going at it. 17, 11, 13, and 15 kills. Gonna come back for another pass. Jean-Lu killing the T1 power even. Gonna come directly through the base. Party Time trying to throw up a T2 generator before he loses all power. He's down to 200 income now. But since he still has his factories building and his shields on, all of his power is getting sucked up over there. Down to 80 power income. This P-Gen is building at an absolute crawl. I don't think he's going to get it online. And bricks incoming. Now this is going to be interesting. Bricks do have torpedoes. So theoretically the bricks could kill this ACU. It might take them a little while, but that ACU can't come out of the water to escape the torpedoes because then the bricks will just walk up on land and obliterate his face off. So, pursuit it is, I suppose. Still trying to get that T2 gen online. He's down to 20 power income, 9 mass. He actually has a lot of mass extractors. Oh, I forgot to turn capture cursor on. Whoops, my bad, people. Looking over there at the comments on the stream. 10k health and dropping very, very slowly. Bricks are not exactly known for their high torpedo damage. Looks like he's shedding about 1k every 8 or 9 seconds. Monkey Lord coming around for another pass. That is pretty much game right there. Party Time is sitting in a much better position even though he can't get his power generator online. But yeah, I've never seen a game before where at 40 minutes both players were at +1, +20. ACU is going to venture to stick his head out of the water here. Not a very wise decision in my opinion. Bricks are going to play ring around this. Basically a game of musical chairs trying to run around. And there is game. That is it. Party Time winning on 1 mass and 20 power income. So that is a troll game. That is just a fun time. I've never seen a game play out that way. That is the ultimate in just absolute failure to intercept. That T4 possibly could have killed off all of the bricks on the left side if he had combined it with his other forces and maybe thrown down an overcharge with his ACU or 7 on those bricks. I think he probably could have survived it, but Party Time was going to win in the end anyway because of superior eco. So that is pretty much it. All right, what we're going to do here is I'm going to take a few questions from you guys. Anybody who's watching the stream, if you have noob questions, strategy questions, anything that you're curious about, games that I've casted in the last week or so, anything about Forged Alliance, or me personally, anything you want to ask away. I'm going to refresh the stream real quick so I can turn capture cursor on and just correct a couple of little settings here and there. I'll be back in about 10 seconds and we will get everything else figured out. Alrighty, think we got it. Should be able to see the cursor next time I come online. And I bumped up the bitrate just a hair. Hopefully it'll be good. I'm going to host a lobby. Never seen anyone build artillery shield when they're playing UEF. I think that is a Black Ops unit. That is a mod unit that's not in the actual normal balance. Actually, I'm not sure that the version of Black Ops that comes with FAF even has that. Not totally mistaken. I've heard people mention the UEF RD shield before, but it is not in the current balance. That unit does not exist. I'm going to host a game. I'm going to throw up a lobby, and I'm going to play one with whoever wants to join it. But while the lobby's filling in for a few minutes, again, anybody who has any kind of question about anything to do with the game or anything else, ask away and I will answer in just a second. Trying to decide what map to do. Could do Diversity. That was fun the last time I played it. I played it once or twice. I think I will. That's a good map. I'm gonna host this one and get my settings set. Okay. Speed asking, as a member of the council, do you know when the balance counselor will be chosen? We are actually discussing that right now. We were suggesting some people. We're set to have a discussion about it tomorrow at some point. It is in the works, but we're not quite there yet. Can monkey lords travel across any water? Yes, they do. They walk along the bottom. So they do have very, very small amount of torp damage, but it's not much at all. And they move at the average walking speed. The megalith on the other hand, for Cybern, actually has a substantial amount of torpedo damage, and it moves faster underwater than it does on land, which is a pretty cool feature. It's kind of a half and half. It's much more powerful on land than it is on water, but it can take care of itself in the water. New to FA, what is a good build for UEF? Standard land build. UEF has strong land. You're going to want to... having trouble thinking and doing at the same time. You're going to want to build... Typically, it's land factory first, then a couple of power generators and a mass extractor, and then you expand from there. Any manual reclaim that you can grab close to your spawn will boost your game substantially. And from there, you can either go second air or you can go second land and third air. I would not recommend going any later than third air, because typically you run into problems like we were just seeing. That is about the best advice I can give you. Oh, he didn't send the monkey across. Sending the monkey across would not have done any good, because there is a cliff there, and the Monkey Lord could not actually cross the cliff to shoot the ACU. It wouldn't have worked. Features of the map prevent it. Alright, share till death. Got all of my settings correct, and we're going to do... Let's just do random spawns. And we need left versus right. Ding. Okay. When trying to go from noob to Joe, what would you say the most important factor is? Scouting, reclaim, eco, micro, overall strategy, etc. The biggest thing that I see, the biggest difference that I see between noobs and the average player is how actively they raid. The more aggressive you are, the more successful you will typically be. Turtling is usually not the best strategy, and once you start poking and prodding at other players and provoking action, that is where you're crossing the threshold into being a more aggressive, more commanding player. Typically in a game, you want to be forcing the other player to react to you. You don't want to be reacting to them. Unless you're in a turtle up and eco fast T3 situation. You want to be proactive and not sit and wait for other people to come to you. And yes, scouting is vitally important, but I'm not going to say that because I'm assuming that everyone should be scouting. From noob to pro, if you're not scouting, you're going to lose. That's just law of the land. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and launch this game. It was first come, first serve, and we've got random spawns on, so we'll just see how it happens. I'm going to go random factions as well. And we're just going to boot this up. I will be paying attention to the stream. Oh my word. Plex is not going to be able to play this. Plex has a extremely slow CPU, and this is a fairly large map, 4 versus 4. So I can't do that. All right. And we're ready. Ask away if you have any further questions. I will answer them. Still cannot see the cursor. What on earth? I turned on, let's see, in settings, enable cursor. Let me restart the stream one more time just to make sure the setting isn't. If that doesn't fix it, I don't know what will. Launch ahoy! Alright, I have no hydro. I'm gonna go land factory. I've got access to 8 mass extractors and a small well, that's an interesting wreck. Small amount of manual reclaim. Go 2 power generators, then 2 mass extractors. A move order. Move orders are extremely important as well. You need to use your move order so that your ACU is walking less. Because if you individually walk to every single thing that you build, you burn up tons and tons of time, which would be much better utilized doing other things. Alright, first NG out. I've got a fair bit of building going on down here. I'm going to go ahead and snag this huge monolithic boulder over here. It is one of the largest reclaim rocks I've ever seen. And my next engineer that goes out here will grab those. The attack move order is what you need to be using to get reclaim. That is Alt, right click. It can be used from the factory. Oop, wrong one. Let's see, we've got Zaphod Beeblebrox. No idea who that is. Taking Seraphim. He's just north of me. We got Razip as Seraphim as well. Let's see. Tractor upgrade. And build a couple land factories here. Let me assist AC. Southern side. That is an 800 up there. And then I've got Illusion. The 1K on the southern side. He actually plays with us a bit. I typically play with Ionic, who I'm sure some of you have seen me around. Ionic and Illusional and Dark Templar, we play together a fair bit. And I pause this because holy cow, I'm low on power. So much reclaim. Cannot spend it all. Alright, let me get back over here. I did not know that there was a new version of diversity. Alright, we got a flare coming across. He actually didn't kill my engineer, left it with 20 health. Thank you, kind sir. Chet Atkins, I owe you a favor. Tank's gonna intercept. Think I can get him as he goes by. And kaboom. Free to move. I probably should have run forward. There's some mass out there. Not a terribly huge amount of mass, but mass nonetheless. And I'm overflowing mass. How dare me. Waiting for my power to finish. There it is. Power, yes. Up. Point defense. Why build point defense? I think I'm going to go for an aggressive ACU. After I get a few more power generators online, I will drop a gun upgrade and then see where that takes me. So grab this and throw down a radar. As intel's always amazing. Throw down a radar up here as well. I have no idea what that wreck is. Should be fairly valuable though. It looks like a Corsair. That would be T2 air. Not a terrible amount of mass, but a little bit anyway. I just want to take advantage of what you can. Bomber ahoy! I'm gonna go kill this expansioneer down here. Trying to cap off those mexes. Well, I'm not gonna let you. Cheeky bastard of a flare. Alright, orange ACU is coming to front. I'm going to go ahead and drop the gun upgrade. Going to give me a little bit of a tactical advantage. Group up my units around the ACU much as I can. Come on in range. Come on in range. You know you want to. There it is. Deal that extra damage.
Commander under attack.
Alright, where have I got some engineers? That one. So I'm going to kill that one. Building. And let's bomb some power. Holy cow. Mother of power stalls. Let's see. More on here. Manage better. We're gonna live with 28 health. If I can bomb these guys out, I should be able to kill all of these P-gens, but nope, gonna get killed. Oh well. Such is life. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill out at the front with my ACU. No big deal. Take this expansion here if I can get him to move with me. Anytime you can take mass extractors away from people, it is a good thing. Flying rock next to Corsair wreck. I don't see a flying rock. Unless you mean the one hanging from the side of the cliff there. Do spy some units up top. That would probably be a good target. Me. Ah, there's an ACU up there. Got a range of that. Alright, north side's looking okay. Overall, we look pretty good. I think once I get the gun upgrade on here, should be fine. Let's bomb a clump of units here. The Natha is so terrible. So terrible at hitting units. No, not my mass extractor. Or rebuild you. I spy a frigate. Means there's a naval factory back here somewhere. Let's see what's back here. Why are you T1 point defense creeping? That is such a bad idea. Oh, it's working. That's okay. We'll end this through the bottom in just a minute here. Suck that up. A little more mass in the coffers. That is an ACU right there, I believe. Let's see. ACU with the gun upgrade. Slightly problematic, but nothing that can't handle, I don't think. There's that ACU on the front line with the tanks. That is a good thing to see, especially when we're in the T1 phase here. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna build another factory here. Got enough mass to go around for it, and another upgrade in just a second here. Something somebody else was asking me about a long while back was how do I judge when to go for a T2 mass extractor? Well, basically, if you have enough units to stop your opponent, but not enough to kill them, and you're pretty well balanced on mass, if you go for a T2 mass extractor upgrade, that's typically a good investment. You do not want to go for a T2 upgrade, a mass extractor upgrade, when you're already behind on your unit count, because that's just asking for failure. And then you also do not want to go for a T2 mass extractor upgrade if you already have the game basically wrapped, because then you're just upgrading for the sake of upgrading and extending the length of the game. It's easier to tell when not to go for a mass extractor upgrade than when to go for a mass extractor upgrade. Trogdorix, as far as the, this is Supreme Commander, Forged Alliance, Hassan. Sorry, I butchered that name. As far as Patreon goes, I do not feel like I have put enough content out to seriously ask for Patreon donations. Holy cow. Yo! A teammate died. Was it a mutual?
Under attack.
Oh, holy crap, my voice broke. Yeah, it was a mutual. I'm hitting second puberty at 23, guys. I would like to expand my YouTube channel further, but I just cannot decide on a niche to get into. If people who have been on my channel a lot, you notice I started doing little news blips now and then. Which I have a good time with, and I really enjoy tech news, but I don't know, there's already a lot of people that do that. And another thing that I'd considered was Let's Plays, which, again, I can adopt a persona. I can do that really well, and I can be the type of person that you need to be to do that kind of thing, but I'm just not entirely comfortable with a lot of the things that Let's Players are required, well, not required, but a lot of the things that Let's Players do. As far as the topics that they talk about and things like that, I'm not like any kind of stupidly conservative person who just hates any form of cursing or whatever, but I just don't, I don't know. Rude jokes aren't my thing, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have already noticed, as I typically keep things pretty clean in channel. Well, hello, Mr. Jester. Yeah, if I ever figure out a niche that I can fill that I am good at, I will definitely think about doing YouTube a lot more seriously, but at the moment I just haven't. One other thing that I was thinking about doing, there's another RTS that's being... select interceptors, there we go. There's another RTS being released soon called Ashes of the Singularity, which looks really phenomenal. I think it looks pretty good. I will probably start casting that in addition to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. It seems like a similar game type and something that I can really get into. So if I start doing that, that'll give me a bit more material to work with than just doing this. And I am rambling like all get out here because it's hard to focus on multiple topics and do this at the same time. I think I built this point defense. It'll be okay. Give me something to fall back to here. And cut off this ACU from running. Build that point defense before you go all in. Alright, we got orange moving up from the bottom. I have a substantial amount of eco here. That going to do 2 more support factories. And Ilshivas. Ilshivas like all get out. What we got here? North.
Commander under attack.
Push while the pushing's good. Factory to the front. Get a bit more production on that. To be desperately in need of some more mass soon. And wrap all those up. And shove that over there. What mods do I use or recommend others to use? I use one UI mod. That is the Mass Fabricator automatic toggle switch up here, which is an extremely handy tool. Some people say it's cheating. I say, you know, it might be borderline, but there's a ton of other people using it, and when you're in the extreme late game, it is a very handy tool. So I use it. You can get it in the mod vault very easily. It's not something that's like some super secret, overpowered mod that only some people have. And then if you turn on the reclaim counter, holy cow, I need more power. I need a T2 engineer. That's what I need. Let's see, going to do T2 engineer and then Bolshevas. Where is my flak? That is the question. Oh crap. Hello, Mr. Point Defense. I would build a shield, but I don't have enough power for that. I'm just gonna fall back for now. Oh cool. A T1 bomber is still going. Can I kill him? I think I can. Target bomber, the rest walk. Alright, looking good. Oh, not HQ, support. There we go. No, I'm not going to kill him, so back up. Oh, Menegestas. Restores. Well, that's interesting.
Commander under attack.
Do I have any flak? That is the question. I can kill it. Let's see. Anti-air. Driving back a little ways, no problemo. Alright, I need to start thinking about how to end this, because these guys are going to severely out-turtle me if I'm not careful. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. How do I want to go about this? I can these jesters with the artillery. That I can do. That is why you don't leave your planes on the ground, people. And there's my little flak. Destroy those things. Let's take all of my artillery. And let's do this. That is a floaty option. I'm going to retreat this. Not enough eco. For sure. Alright. I correct you.
Commander under attack. Commander under attack.
Come on, veteran seed.
Commander under attack.
And I'm dead. No, Corsairs! Stop it! Leave me alone! I don't want to die. But I'm gonna. Kaboom! T3 air when no one on my team, including me, built any air. That is game end. Oh man, it has been a very, very long time since I tried to live cast and play, and talking while you're playing is an extreme break of focus. I'm gonna have to practice this on Twitch during the week. Also, I do have a Twitch channel which I do use occasionally that is the same as the YouTube channel. It's just Brink-O Insanity. And that was not a snipe. That was not a snipe. Yeah, 15 minutes without proper eco. I did not expect it to go that long. I was expecting to roll orange, but did not go that well because I had to move north to red, so yeah. Let me scroll up through here and I'll look at anything that was posted while I was playing. Oh, one other thing that I was going to mention on the topic of UI mods that I may or may not use. The reclaim counter up here in the top left, and you can't see my pointer, so it doesn't do any good to point. The reclaim counter is an option that you can use. It's under the interface, I think. It's under one of these. There it is. Display reclaim window. Turn that on. That allows you to see how much you've reclaimed over the course of the game. It's a very handy little indicator, and you can see improvements that you may make in... oh, this is not looking good for blue. Blue may actually be out of the game momentarily. Depends on if Razep, or whatever his name is, can not die long enough to kill him, and I think that is going to be the case. He's got Corsairs on him. And a vet! No! That was the best timed vet ever. Still down to 5k health, though. I think Razep's going to pull a mutual on this. And Strat Bomber. Yup. It's going to be a mutual, but Razep's definitely not going to survive it. He is going to get the kill, though. And... kaboom! He's out. Okay, yeah, and then hot build is basically integrated. If you hit F1 here, you got your key bindings, and there is a list 3.5 miles long of all of your key bindings that has most of what hot build and Gaz UI had in it. All of that's been integrated into FAF. Really handy tool. Don't have to worry about your mods or anything anymore. You just download the mod that you want, and it's automatically loaded in with the game, and you automatically update maps, patches, anything else you need. So Forged Alliance Forever is an awesome tool to play this game with. And everything you guys were saying is correct. Yes, overbuilding power, not enough mass, not enough eco. Alright. And yes, you should get back into Supreme Commander, because Supreme Commander is the best game ever. And you should definitely be playing it. Holy flak attack. Those interceptors stood no chance. That looks like a hoplite off to the side there. That is a hoplite off to the side. Strat Bomber swirling overhead. I believe that Zavod is not long for this world. Strat Bomber got stuck in a circling pattern. Not going to attack at all. Corsair is going to have a little better luck, I think. Yes, that's right. Flyer ASF over the flak. Excellent plan. Shield might actually hold for a few minutes. What is my opinion on the units mods, aside from the OP units? If you're talking about Black Ops and stuff, Black Ops and the various other mods, they are okay once in a while. I'll play them every now and then, but typically the original balance is the best. All of the units that get thrown in, it's just too much. Subcom is a fairly elegant game. It has a unit for every purpose that you could desire. None of them are brokenly OP, and most of them are quite useful. There's very, very few underpowered unit, and everything is balanced pretty well against each other. So, I honestly just prefer to play with the normal balance. Let's see. Tool that automatically updates map versions. Yes, Taquito. You should totally suggest that to the development team. And if you have any coding experience, you could actually help make that. Honestly, though, I don't know, because maps are recognized as different entities, so you would have to build a tool that would, you'd have to build a tool that actually analyzes the title of the maps and would recommend the newest version number than, as opposed to analyzing the file itself. FAF does not replace FA. Forged Alliance Forever is a client that hosts games of Supreme Commander, and it has a hooking mod. It does not actually install mods or alter the original installation of Forged Alliance in any way. You can launch Forged Alliance from Steam or from your CD or PC, whatever. And you can play it as the original game and not have to use anything that you downloaded from Forged Alliance Forever. But if you start a game from Forged Alliance Forever, everything is hooked in to your native installation, and the game launches with the FAF balance. It automatically downloads any maps that you need, adjusts everything like it needs to be, and you can play no problem on that. Yes, King of the Hill actually works. When is the right situation to build T3 artillery? When you have a very, very large map and you are in a deadlock. You can build it aggressively, but typically any game situation that you solve with T3 stationary artillery could have been solved with attack units. That's maybe overgeneralizing a bit, but that has been my experience. Taquito, it's kind of map specific. There's a couple of maps that it does work on pretty well. I cannot recall what they were because I haven't played King of the Hill in forever. But it's not exactly the most universally friendly mod. You have to have a pretty... I'd have to sit down and tinker with it again to figure out which maps work with it and which ones don't. Who has the best base shields? It depends on how you define best. Cybern has the cheapest shields that build the fastest, so you can spam shields for 8k extra health in absolutely no time at all. They just have small bubbles. So if you want fast in specific areas, Cybern's good, and if you want durability, Cybern is the worst. Aeon is reasonably well balanced. It has very high health, but the shields are non-upgradable, which is not the best. UEF has the best balance of cost versus the bubble size and how much health the shield has. So UEF is the most well-rounded. Seraphim is just straight up the strongest. It has the highest health, the biggest bubble size, but it has the highest cost and the slowest build time. So you can't really spam... you can't effectively spam Seraphim shields. You have to invest in Seraphim shields. But yeah, they are the strongest. Where do you get UI mods from? Let me change my OBS settings real quick. Let me get monitor capture up here. Ding. Alright, this is the FAF lobby. And if you go to the... Oh, there's the cursor. I wonder why it wasn't showing up in the game. That is very strange. If you go down to the vaults... Bam! There's all of your maps and mods. And in the mods, you can search by all, UI, sim, and then a couple of other things. You can search by name. So if you want MassFab UI, I typed in the first few letters and there it is right there. Or you can get Black Ops, and there's all the different versions of Black Ops Unleashed, ACU mods, that kind of thing. And then if you need UI mods, you just leave it blank and then do UI mods only server search, and it'll pull up everything on the server. Eco Manager, Idle Engineer Select, all of this stuff. ACU Notify. And all of these are individual people's mods. They don't affect your entire game. One person can have them installed and not the rest, and it will work. Anyway, FAF is a really cool lobby. You can use it. It's much more organized than any other game client I've ever been on. By far. It is really good for managing all of your mods and everything for you. Turn this off. I think that is about going to wrap it up for me today. Let's see. Aeon shields not being able to be upgraded is not a matter of fixing. It is something unique to the faction. The shields are actually really good for their price. It's just you can't upgrade them. Oh, one other thing that you can abuse as Cybern, because Cybern has a whole bunch of steps in their shield, and every time you upgrade the shield, you get full health back on the shield. So if you have a bunch of hives next to a bottom tier T2 shield for Cybern, you can just queue up all of the upgrades, and attacks incoming, your shield will step up and keep gaining and gaining and gaining health through the tiers. As long as you have the mass to sustain that kind of build, it works really well for preventing snipes, because you can actually upgrade the shield in between strap bomber runs to have an entirely new shield available when the bombers come back around. That's another advantage to Cybern. Again, they don't, until you get to ED4, they're not really as good as any of the other faction shields, but they do have their uses. They're not entirely behind the other factions. Glance through chat one more time before I wrap it up here. Again, any questions anybody has on strategy or just Subcom in general, or me, the channel, whatever, ask away. Got about 2 minutes here. Alright. I think that I'm out. I don't know what Raptor is referring to. I've seen some pretty nasty launchers back. Oh, game launchers. Yes. Yes, I understand now. Alrighty, guys. Oh, here is a good question. I'm actually going to answer this. I've always wondered, what is the point of the Spearhead versus T3 mobile artillery? This is referring directly to UEF. UEF has a T3 mobile missile launcher called the Spearhead. And actually, let me pull up the unit database so that you can see it. This is another tool that you guys need to know how to use. Let me switch back to monitor capture here. If you go up here to the top in links, you have the unit list, and some of these are slightly outdated, but overall this is an extremely handy tool. Let me find on UEF, let's go down here to T3 land, and we've got right next to these, there's a teeny tiny 1 pixel wide white box. I don't know why it's so small, but if you check one, ink, and then click on the other, you get a unit comparison. So we have the Demolisher, which is the artillery. This one costs 800 mass, and it has 75 range. Or no, I'm sorry, 75 DPS and 90 range. So there's your Demolisher. The Spearhead costs half as much, and it does 3 times almost as much damage. So the Spearhead actually does way more damage. And it fires 3 projectiles every 10 seconds, but it's stacked up back to back to back. So what you can do is, the Spearhead is actually really good at overwhelming TMD. And it does so much more damage than the artillery onto single targets. It does have a small area of effect, but not much, 0.5. So typically the Demolisher is going to be better for wailing on shields and for, let me think. If you need distributed damage for clumps of units in a combat situation. The Spearhead is absolutely ridiculous for sniping off targets, because your opponent cannot build TMD fast enough to prevent these things. You can actually snipe ACUs. They do 2,400 damage per firing cycle in 3 missiles so close together that you cannot move a unit away between the first missile impact and the third missile impact. So if you put 5 of these on hold fire, and then you target something, and then release hold fire, you can do 12,000 damage in 1 firing cycle with the Spearheads. And additionally, spearheads can fire, I think they can fire on the move. I am pretty sure about that. Whereas the Demolisher has to be stationary. So you can use spearheads kind of like mobile missile launchers, where you're running around and they're just dealing damage wherever they impact. And yes, if there's no TMD on static targets, they do more damage. But like I said, spearheads, if you stack them up together, if you get 2 or 3 together, and you put them on hold fire so they fire in a synchronized manner when you release them, you can easily overwhelm fairly good amounts of TMD with spearheads. I'm not going to say they're better than the artillery, but they each have their use. Usually I build artillery, but spearheads are just really fun to play with. They're cheap, they do tons of damage, and if your opponent doesn't have TMD everywhere, they can do a whole lot of damage around the edges as far as like raiding and stuff. Okay. There was one other question in here I was going to look at. Everything kind of flowed in. I forgot there was 30 seconds relay time on the stream. I asked about questions and then nothing came in. Let's see. Replays. Where can I send them? Put them in the YouTube comments. All I need is the replay ID number. That is the best way for me to keep track of them. The weakest faction, there isn't one. They're each strong and weak in their own ways, and that is an extremely long conversation, which I don't have time to do at the moment. When do I do these streams? This is the second one that I've done. They are on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern U.S. time. So if you log in at 6 p.m., I will be doing these casts on Saturday. And I think that is going to wrap it up. All right. I'm out of here, guys. Been real. It's been fun. I will be back next Saturday, and I'll have 2 casts in the interim. And then, additionally, I will be doing the little news blips on the channel. Anything that I find cool or interesting, and I'll just post it up there, and I will start putting annotations in the description for people who have been asking about the sources for these stories that I'm posting. Until the next video, I will see you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching.